everyone. Well, welcome back to Identity Emergence. And if you're just listening to this podcast, you may not understand the excitement, but I have unlocked a new location, y'all. I am actually at my color analysis studio. If you're watching this on YouTube, you see my color flags and the drapes that I used with my clients for my color analysis session is right next to me. And yeah, it's my first time recording at the studio and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'm just like one thing that's worrying me right now is to be able to sit still and not move my microphone. So the distance from my mouth to the mic is going to be the same throughout this episode. Yeah, we're gonna see about that because if you watch any of my videos, like I move a lot with my hands, so I'm kind of nervous about that. But aside from that, how cute! Isn't it cute? Yeah, I usually record in my office studio, but I live with my partner, my fiance, and his parents right now. So, like, sometimes there's noise, obviously, and I'm trying to record at a time when everyone's not at the house, but everyone's schedule is constantly changing. And today's one of those where I had to record because not only that, I actually recorded this episode, like this entire episode, talking about your energetic style archetype, but guess what? The audio was not recording. I know. So I was like, you know what? Let me actually come to my studio, bring my microphone, that's all I need, and my camera, and try to record. And that's the process. And that's where we are today. This might become my new podcast studio, who knows? But today, I am wanting to talk about your energetic style archetype. And before I get into what that is, I actually want to get into how this came about. What is energetic style archetype? I'm teaching this style archetype system inside my upcoming masterclass on May 13th from 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if you can't catch it live, you can also watch the replay. And if you sign up before May 13th, you get the early bird access. So you could purchase it for $33.33 USD. And afterwards, the price will go up. So if you're thinking about joining and wanting to unlock your style archetype, come join us, okay? Yeah, so before I explain what this is, and I want to go over all of the archetypes that I will be teaching inside this masterclass, but I want to again go over what this is. What the fuck is energetic style archetype? All my styling clients will go through analyzing their energetic style archetype. And the reason why I do this is because most people and most clients come to me saying, okay, I don't know what my personal style is. And if you're experiencing this, like, oh, I don't know what it is, but you want to get clear on it, you might have done the trial and error, trying on different trends, trying on different aesthetics, trying to see what actually makes you feel like me. But because there's lack of tools in your toolkit, you're just feeling like you're going in circles. Like you never actually know how to describe your personal style. Or you might have gotten into the rabbit hole of going into understanding your Kibbe body type. Kibbe body type is one of those tools that's very popular online, and we got to give where credit is due, right? Kibbe body type is like the OG. It has developed a lot since, and there are more nuances and more the energetic flair that I add from the Kibbe body type system. However, we gotta give where credit is due. Kibbe body type is one of those that's very recognized, especially on the online community, even within the stylist community as well, but not as much as you think actually. Like everyone knows what Kibbe body type is, but from my people that I surround myself with, stylists and image consultants, they actually don't really use Kibbe body type on its own. We use the version of energetic style archetype, which again will be teaching today and in the masterclass. Going back to the rabbit hole research of understanding and unlocking your personal style, and you might have came across a lot of tools actually, like color analysis is one of them, understanding your body type is one of them, Kibbe body type specifically is also one of them, and you also may have came across like John Ketchner's essence, style essence, and their concept. Like there's a lot of tools and it's overwhelming. Let's be real, overwhelming. But the big three that I use in my sessions with my clients and even myself that I also adopt are color analysis, understanding your body type, and your energetic style archetype. These are the only three tools that you need to really get a sense of, oh, this is so me in your personal style. But again, the online community and the online world in general, it's very useful, but it's also very confusing. So I want to simplify it for you today. I want to make this energetic style archetype this one stop to actually unlocking how to create a personal style that feels like me. That's the goal. I gotta switch hands because this microphone is heavy. Okay, hopefully my voice and my sound is staying the same throughout this podcast. I'm gonna train myself to hold still, or I'm gonna just bring my stand next time. It's pretty heavy. Anyway, where was I going with this? Neurodivergent brain be pausing and creating new topics. That's why I need my phone to like guide me in like all my podcasts because I be yapping about everything and anything. So let's go back to my notes. Kibbe body type. Kibbe body type is something that you may have came across when you're trying to discover and unlock your personal style, your image. And as I mentioned before, it's very recognized among the community of those who are trying to understand their personal style. And Kibbe body type, again, I love and I I understand to a certain extent. I have not fully studied Kibbe body type to where I could give my opinion because it's very confusing. Like a lot of my education just based on Kibbe body type came from little bit from again my system that I use, but a lot of them are like YouTube or like TikTok or just searching on Google, but there's actually very limited resource when it comes to accessing the actual tools of the Kibbe body type. Um, yeah, like some libraries might carry it. Like it's like a mission to actually hunt this information. And the difference between this and the system I use is that Kibbe body type specifically only looks at your body type, meaning your body shape, your bone structure, your body type, which is all that I cover inside just the body type session on its own with my clients. Body type also is a whole different conversation because we could go from hourglass to on understanding your somatotype to again Kibbe body type. There's just so much, but just understand that when we talk about body type, we're just looking at you and your body, your shape, your lines, the curves that you carry, your height, how tall, how small. That is what's covered inside the body type. And Kibbe body type just has a specific name for all of those different body types. I believe there's like 10 or 13 versions of them. But that's where it stops with Kibbe body type, meaning there's nothing beyond your body type. And what I love about energetic style archetype and the system I implement when I style my clients and myself and my bestie, like whoever's around me, is that it's a way to honor who you are, your soul, into your clothing form. So, what do I mean by that? Energetic style archetype is a way for you to express who you are naturally. So, think about going into the scientific of awe. Think about you in the human meat suit that you carry with you, right? We all have a soul. Okay, take what also resonates. I know everyone believes in different things. I believe that we have a soul, we reincarnate, and we come here and we become a 3D, and our 3D expression, part of it also is our human meat suit. We are wearing this human meat suit to experience Earth, experience the 3D. And our soul also is very unique. It is vibrating at a specific frequency. And that manifestation, our soul's manifestation, is our human form. So the way you look, the way you are, your skin tone, your bone structure, your body, the lines and the curves that you have, your face, your beautiful face, all of this that we have on our body is a physical manifestation of your soul. Even when we look at it scientifically as well, we are more energy beings, right? We're more nothing than something. I know like people even say, I forgot the exact metaphor for it, or even was it a sugar cube? But anyway, when everyone on earth, like when we like combine together, like let's say we all got pushed together, what we will become is, I think it's like a sugar cube. Basically the point is you are more energy being than matter. Even when we think about our body as well, we are formed with water, right? I believe 70%, 75, 60. Oh my God, I should really do my scientific number and its research before I start yapping about facts, but I know it's from 60 to 75% of our body is made out of water. And water could also appear differently under a microscope. Microscope. That's a hard word for me. That's a big word for Elmo. So, with that, our energy And our frequency determines how we look, how we are. Again, includes our body and our skin tone, everything. That's why if you even look at twins who were very identical growing up, but when they become older, because they experience different things in life, they experience different things in this human earth, in their human meat suit, they also will appear different, right? So your frequency, your energy determines the way you look. You are not selecting random human meat suit. You are wearing your soul. And when you look at it like that, there's also no coincidence to your personality, to your physiology. How you look also will show and give us clues as to how your soul expression is being translated through your natural human meat suit expression, your 3D expression. So this is why, like, if you look at someone who just came across, but you could kind of sense their vibe, and yes, it's a lot of it is energy, but you could also look at someone and kind of get a sense of their personality, maybe like their characteristics. Like we are able to tune into that without using words. We could just look at someone and kind of get that feel. And that's the same thing as what I was mentioning before, your soul expression being manifested into your physical form. So how I look is not a coincidence. How you look is not a coincidence. Your personal style also is being drawn to things that are your soul's expression. So, yes, we have our human body meat suit, but what you're drawn to constantly is also not random because we are going to be drawn to like energy. Like attracts like. And this isn't just about manifestation, but manifestation is all about becoming the version of you who has the things, right? But what I'm saying now is just like energy will attract like energy. This is why if you look at your friend group, you have something in common. If you look at like people you hang out the most, there's something, a quality, things that you both enjoy. Like fashion girls also need their fashion girl, like creatives need their creatives, artists need their artists in their lives, right? So, just like that, you're going to also attract like energy into your life, but this also applies with your personal style as well. Things that you're drawn to when you go shopping, even just starting with stores, like the stores you enter speak to you on some level. Let's say you love to wear cutter head to toe, and there's a store that you could see from outside there's only black and white, maybe here and there a pop of color. You may not actually be drawn to walk into that store, right? So even when it comes to clothing, in the stores you picked, it's not random. It's you and your soul and trying to match your like energy into your physical expression as well. This is also why so many aesthetics exist as well. Like it's not just one type of style that exists in the world because we're so different. Like if everyone were the same, we will have no disagreements, no arguments, no opinions. Like it would be boring though, to be honest. Like if everyone thought the same, acted the same, looked the same, it's very boring. Aesthetics also exists because it has to serve certain type of people. But aesthetics, I don't recommend going into a rabbit hole of trying to discover your personal styles through an aesthetic because I believe you are your own aesthetic. You have to decode yourself. You have to understand what your aesthetic is, and how to do that is through mastering your energetic coding in your personal style, your frequency, your expression. What is your soul trying to emit and express through the physical form of clothes? And it doesn't even stop with clothes, right? Because your expression, again, is not just about what you wear, but it's the music taste that you have, the people you surround yourself with, or even the house that you want to live, your dream apartment, dream city, like everything is part of your expression and what you desire. I know I already talked a lot so far, but I want to break down little bits of the archetypes. And again, if you want the full juicy detail of what each style archetype, your energetic style archetype is, I'm going to teach this more in depth inside the masterclass. However, I want to give you a little sneak peek of each of this archetype and its energy. So the first thing that you want to know with this archetype system is that it carries both the masculine and the feminine energy in the archetype. So there are three masculine archetypes and three feminine archetypes. You will have one each, one masculine, one feminine. And you might also have a dominant and the other one being kind of like sprinkled on top, meaning you might, let's say, have one masculine dominant energy in your personal style, but then you also have a flair and a taste of the feminine energy in your style as well, because we're also masculine and feminine being, right? We got to honor both. Now, let's actually get into the archetypes. All right. So, first archetype is called the dramatic. Dramatic style archetype is very forward thinking, very innovative. Like they are kind of giving CEO energy. And this archetype is very good at knowing what's next. What's the next thing that's going to be the it thing? They know the latest restaurants, they want the latest iPhones, they're always thinking next, next, next. Go, go, go energy. So, how your personality gets also translated into your personal style, because this is all about translation and decoding that. How that gets translated is that dramatics also, because they are not afraid to be in the center of attention, and they also have a dramatic flair about them. Their style is also what we think, and easiest way to kind of put it into words will be edgy, very edgy. But I'm not talking oversized leather jacket edgy. No, I'm talking head to toe leather, or like I'm not talking matte leather over here like it could be, but it's not for a dramatic. We're talking about like liquid leather, head to toe red suit look. Like these are the things that they could master in, because that's their energy being manifested. Favorite colors could be black and white, like that high contrast, and a pop of red. Like if I could pick three colors that a dramatic will be drawn to, it's going to be those three. And dramatics are very theatrical as well in a way. So they might actually love, like, let's say for a blazer, they might like a cape blazer, something, oh, like theatrical. And these are the people again who are meant to they are meant to shine their light. However, because we all have shadow and the light within us as well, like this is also the archetype. If you are dramatic, you might also learn to shrink your drama flair, by dressing like everyone else, which is all applies to all archetypes. But dramatics, because you're meant to actually take up space, meant to be bold, bold, be bold. That's your archetype. So that is coming from the one of the masculine style archetypes. And the second one is called the elegant, also known as aristocrat, but I like to call it the elegant style archetype, your energetic style archetype. And these are people, I kind of see like two sides to them. One aspect from them is like, hence the name elegant, like they're very elegant, very chic, very sophisticated, very regal as well. And these are people who like look approachable, but they also are very much in their power. But they also have, speaking of power, this aspect of being adventurous, and they might be the one who will go like rock climbing, skydiving, anything that makes me go they will love to do and try. They like to also move their body. And great example is Princess Diana. She really embodied her elegant style archetype very well. So these are the people, oh my God, these are the people who will wear a blazer all the time. My bestie is an elegant, mix of elegant and romantic, but she literally had to take 3 flights to go to a mastermind. Hi, Taylor, if you're watching this. She had to go to from Winnipeg, Canada to Oakland, California. Okay. So she had to take 3 flights, and she wore a blazer the whole time. I could never. And this isn't to say like what's right or wrong. It's just about your energetic coding. Elegance will have love for a blazer. They are always in love with a blazer. And they also may be drawn to like a neutral color as well. And they value tradition and education, intellectual conversations, or something that also love to have too. So naturally in their style, like something that is more tailored or elevated, kind of think of brands like Burberry. Those are the things that they're going to be drawn to match their expression. And they also like to dress modest as well. So these are the people who might have a hard time like trying to feel like they need to be more sexy or like showing skin, but that's not in your archetype. If you want to be modest and want to honor your energetic style archetype, this is a way to give yourself permission. Again, applies to any star archetype, especially for you, elegance. Last one out of the masculine style archetype is called the natural. So I am also half natural, and naturals are the ones who do not take well to authority. Or they also are someone who likes to be very authentic. So these are the people you cannot be fake around, because natural will like catch a fake bitch, anything fake instantly. So naturally, how that translates into the style as well is that because they're so free spirited, they also care about like justice and environmental rights. They might love dogs more than people, animals more than people. Because of that, their style, one of the first things I always honor in a natural's expression is comfort. Physical comfort is what I mean. So they have to be comfortable, they have to be able to move around and be free spirited. And the clothing items usually that they're going to be drawn to are like natural fabrics. So cottons, linens, anything that is natural. They prefer over something synthetic. Naturals also are very minimal when it comes to like makeup and like jewelry. So they actually don't like to like stack jewelry on. They like to have things very minimal, and they also like to again think of practicality, be practical in their outfits as well. So flats, sneakers, love. Heels will never do. Tailored suit, ugh, too unnatural. So natural also may feel like they have to dress it up more. Like since COVID, I mean, before COVID too, but especially since the COVID era, everyone wants to be a natural style archetype. Everyone wants to be casual. They're not like us, you know what I'm saying? I'm just joking. But like naturals are the ones who are meant to actually be in what we think casual outfit. That's their embodiment. That's their energetic expression. That's how they express themselves. So California chill girl outfit vibes, right? Like Jennifer Aniston, for example, applies so well for a natural. So we have three remaining for the feminine style archetypes. So starting with a classic energetic style archetype, classics are very poised, very like tasteful, refined, and this is I talked about it in my like 2 episodes ago, I believe. I think it was episode 10, where I talked about how the myth around feminine style. And when we think about femininity and how to dress feminine, like we think bodycon, lace, ruffles, floral prints, like these extremely feminine details. That actually comes more from the last archetype I will share, which is the romantic. But classics, you guys may actually not resonate with that, where when you do something too feminine, maybe there's a time and place, right? Like when you go out to for a date night, or when you go out with your girlfriends, like there might be time and place where you actually want to feel extra feminine, right? Because the good thing about these style archetypes is that you have your core, but you also get to borrow these qualities from other archetypes when you want to tap into certain energy. So when you want to tap into more like maximizing your femininity, if you will, like you get to wear those things. But on a day-to-day basis, you may not resonate with that, where you actually like to have things that are timeless. When you think about a capsule wardrobe and typically what's recommended, which will be like, let's say, a white button up shirt or polka dot skirts or something that's very timeless, where you could look at your outfit 10 years from now to 20 years from now and you don't know what timeline it is at. Like that's kind of like your vibe, where it's very tasteful, refined, and you don't want to follow trends, where you also might feel like if you have so much ruffles and lace detail in one outfit, at a certain point you're going to be like, oh, that's too much. That is too much for me, because your way of showing your femininity looks different from the other archetypes, and you want to be able to honor that. And I think with this idea of how to be feminine and your femininity, what it needs to look like to express it, is so like one way, especially in this society where the masculine energy, like people master that, like edgy, chic, tailored, and like the casual Adam Sandler look, right? Like we mastered that as a whole as a society. But when it comes to the feminine style archetypes, we feel this like guilt of like it's not feminine enough. But your way of showing your femininity is going to look different. So don't feel like it needs to look a certain way if you are a classic. So these are also people who will have their place always look put together. And if you walk in, you're like, oh my God, it's such a put together place. But they're like, oh my God, sorry for the mess. And we're like, what mess? What we looking at, right? Like that's kind of like the vibe for a classic. They're always just like put together. These are the people who could put on a casual outfit but still have looking put together, where maybe they're done their hair, their makeup, and like they are very always elevated without trying. Like kind of like a business casual outfit in a way might be drawn to you, where it's very refined, but also like you could add a little skirt and like something like baby blue, baby pink. Something about baby blue and baby pink speaks to you as well. You like to have things in structure. You like to follow the rules rather than breaking them. Like you like to have things in order. That's going to be very important for classic. So again, in your style, we will see that timeless effortlessness that's in your outfit. But when it comes to like outfit, you also want to be kind of like matchy match. Like that's kind of like your vibe, where you don't want to mix things that are not meant to be mixed together. For example, like when I have a classic as my client too, like they like to have things match. So the handbag that you have, the blue that you have, like let's say it's a teal blue, also has to match with the teal that you're wearing for your shoes. Like those are the things that you want to be matchy match with, or you like to have things matchy match in terms of like you don't want to mix in different almost aesthetics or different vibes into one outfit, and you like to have things symmetrical. So because also going back to, your soul expression manifested into your style, you also are someone who might be very symmetrical in terms of like your bone structure, your masculine and the feminine feature in your body and your face. Like these are very symmetrical. Now let's go over to the creative. So creatives, I am a creative, I'm half creative. My main energy is coming from creative, but creatives are the ones who are very much in cloud nine. Like they are in their own Delulu verse, and I love that for them. Love that for me. And they're also have like inner child within them, which everyone carries as well. But they are the ones who will order like, oh, can I get something sweet for like the cocktail drink? Guilty. Or they are also very good in being in their own energy. If you have a friend that's creative, you kind of want to like check in on them. They're like, you good, girl, but they might not respond for you for like 3 business days minimum. But yeah, they're just like in their own headspace, their own world, and they like to be charged in their own energy. They like to journal, meditate, paint art. Like they're creative in an artistic way. And these are also people who will put on an outfit that you will never thought to put together and make it work somehow. Like one of the things that my friends always tell me, I will be putting things together in a way that, let's say, my elegant friend bestie, aka, or my romantic friend will not put together. So, like, it's just very different from what you're supposed to wear, which is like coming from the classic energy versus like what you're not supposed to wear, but putting it together anyway. That's how creatives will thrive. And they also like to have things not symmetrical, but almost asymmetrical. They kind of like to break the rules. These are people who could be like a trendsetter, but they also may have like a boho feel to them. Like I think of Phoebe from Friends in terms of like the energy. Like they like to stack jewelry. They like to make noises, like like jewelry, like here. They like to make noises when they walk into a room with their jewelry. They have jewelry everywhere, stacking jewelry. They also like to be maybe drawn to things that are like chiffon in terms of fabric, because they also have this like almost airy or even like watery energy to them. They're like just going with the flow. So they also want to honor that in their clothing as well. They might be drawn to like A-line skirts or again chiffon in terms of fabric. I mean, it could have a lot of range, but like some ruffled details they also might appreciate. They might also have a very quirky style as well. Like it just depends also on the pairing of your feminine and the masculine energy as well, which is very interesting. But that's how a creative is in their feminine style archetype. Last one is called the romantic energetic style archetype. And this is the one that I mentioned earlier, where when we think about femininity, this is what we typically think of, which is like tight fitting, curb hugging, lace details, sexy, divine, feminine, like goddess energy. They also have this like soft romantic energy where it's kind of like a cottage core aesthetic, right? Yeah, they if they could be in a dress all day, every day, they will be. And in terms of personality, these are people who love. Like romantics love. There's such a lover girl. And I love that for them. And these are people who also appreciate like things that are finer, like finer things in life. They might be told they're materialistic, but there's just in their energetic coding, they have to have things that are like bougie, okay? They're the bougie ones. And like because of that, they might love diamond, the bling, things that are again more elevated. So even like designer pieces they might be drawn to, compared to let's say like a creative actually may be drawn to things that you could find at a thrift store. Classic may be drawn to like let's say a very classic brand like Chanel. So very different energy. But romantics, they also like to be wine and dine. Like they want to light up a candle. They also use their five senses very well. So they like to put on perfume. They are just good at romanticizing life. Like that is their magic. And they like to feel into their body. These are the people who will like touch a fabric, be like, oh my God, it's so soft, and then decide to get it because it's so soft. And then romantics also maybe love to do more makeup that's more glamorous, like, lashes and like doing a full makeup compared to, let's say, a natural style archetype where they want to be barefaced if they could all day, every day. So, yeah, romantics are so fun to be around. They just have this natural, like, motherly energy. Like, they probably like to host, which classic also likes to host as well, but host in a way of like wanting to be a service to others for a romantic. I just covered all the style archetypes and where it comes from. And I think it might be my longest podcast episode. So if you're here till the end, you're my girl. And I am assuming that things landed or resonated if you're here to the end. And I'm very excited for you to kind of explore what your style archetype is. And if you want to go in depth with me inside this masterclass, can't talked for so long. Inside this masterclass, Energetic Style Archetype Masterclass, I will be diving in more into this topic and showing you actual visuals and like things that you're going to be drawn to, your expression based on your style archetype. So I can't wait to have you inside. It is going to be on May 13th, but if you're watching this after, replay will be available. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to talk to you in the next episode. Bye. Mata ne.